attendees.
There's missing the speaker.
Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. We are here today for match day -1, Concacaf men's Olympic qualifying. Ahead of the Canada-Honduras match, we have Canada head coach Mauro Biello. We will look to the raised hands via the conference call today, and we'll start with Neil Davidson at the Canadian Press.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Mauro, for taking the time today. This game should decide top spot in Group B. By my math, a win or a tie will get you through. Do you throw that all aside, Mauro, and just go for the win in a game like this and not worry about the permutations?
Well, I think that's the first thing, right? I think the mindset has to be always to win. I think for sure there's a challenge in front of us. It's a good team. I mean, there's different scenarios that could come up, but I think the mindset is always to win. Now, how we manage that, how we are able to navigate through that with all the different scenarios, I think that's what's key. Putting our strategies together in terms of subs, in terms of how we want to, take on this game. I think it'll be important. But the most important thing is that the players always have that mindset that they play to win.
Thank you very much, Neil. Derek Van Diest.
Hi, Mauro. Thanks for doing this. Just wanted to ask you about your defensive play through the first 2 games. You haven't given up a goal. Your goaltender has made some very good saves for you. Can you just talk about from your goaltender on out, how much confidence you have playing defensively in this tournament?
Yeah, I think, that's one of the things, obviously not being a team that has a lot of rhythm or fitness, our shape has to be right. And, James has made some good saves. The defenders have played well, but I think the importance is the tightness of our shape from front to back, side to side. I think in the game against Haiti, it got a little bit too loose to my liking, whether it was fatigue in different moments and allowing them to get some space. But I think the importance of staying tight, not giving up spaces between us, nothing through. If they're going to get something, they got to go around. And then we lock them out wide, and I think that's the identity. And when we don't have the ball, force them wide, lock them up, and just give them nothing through. And I think they've done that fairly well throughout this tournament so far. We need to continue with that same mindset. For sure, for me, it's managing now the players and who could do that, who could be able to now sustain that type of work that's needed to keep the team tight from a physical standpoint. But overall, happy with the way we've defended. James has made those key saves when needed. And I think this is all part of defending well, right? Making those key saves, but not giving up opportunities to teams throughout the tournament.
Thank you. Michael McCall.
Hey, Mauro. The first game that Honduras had against Haiti, I don't know how much you can take from that because of the circumstances. From what you saw in the second game, is that more what you are expecting from this Honduras side in this one?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, everybody could, that first game could cancel out. I think we all saw what happened in the first game with Haiti, having a field player in nets, starting the game with 10 men, playing 30 minutes with a man down, not knowing if they had any subs at any point. So, that game went in Honduras' favor. I think the second half was a better indication. It was a 0-0 score against Honduras. But for sure, the Honduran team that we're facing today, I think, has also a very good defense, very physical, technical team. I think they're more physical than El Salvador. There's a few elements there on that team that we have to keep a close eye on in terms of quality, in terms of athleticism. So there is those challenges, a lot of similarities, I think, the way they play with us, you know, after analyzing them. But again, it'll be a difficult game, no doubt. It's a team that for sure wants to win the same way we do. You know, they had that opportunity like we did, and it didn't happen for them. These are things that happen in tournaments. So now this game will be the decisive game to see who could win the group.
Thank you very much. Merci. On va tourner en français. Gavino, s'il vous plaît.
Merci, Richard. Mauro, il y a beaucoup de scénarios sur la table. C'est-à-dire, vous allez avoir l'avantage d'être le dernier match du groupe. Mexique, États-Unis aujourd'hui. Vous allez savoir qui va finir premier ou deuxième. Ensuite, Haïti contre Salvador. Si c'est un match nul, ça veut dire que le Canada et Honduras passent. Beaucoup de fatigue, 3 matchs en 6 jours. Comment qu'on gère ça en tant que coach, sachant que vous allez avoir beaucoup de cartes dans vos jeux, là, notamment lors du dernier match contre le Honduras?
Ouais, c'est pas facile parce que il faut gérer tous ces scénarios et je pense qu'on commence avec la mentalité de gagner et c'est ça c'est le message que je vais envoyer aux joueurs et avec ça, on peut pas contrôler tous les autres scénarios. On sait que nous, qu'est-ce qu'on doit faire? Soit d'être prêt pour battre Honduras d'une manière où on peut contrôler un match, mais en même temps d'essayer d'avoir cette fraîcheur pour le prochain match si on est dans ce scénario. Alors, toutes ces choses-là, toutes ces stratégies-là, on est en train de réviser, pas avec les joueurs, mais juste avec mon staff. Pour nous aider que quand on a plus de clarité de notre destin, on peut s'ajuster. Mais comme j'ai dit, la mentalité va être d'essayer de gagner ce match. Et quand on va savoir plus de clarité en certaines choses, en ce moment-là, maintenant, je peux commencer à gérer certaines choses, soit de reposer, soit de pousser un peu plus parce qu'on a besoin d'une victoire. Alors, tous ces scénarios, on va être prêt pour, en espérant que les joueurs peuvent exécuter tout ça.
Merci beaucoup. Dave Lévesque, s'il vous plaît.
Bonjour Mauro, j'espère que ça va bien. On parle des scénarios, mais je veux dire, à moins d'une victoire cinglante, soit du Salvador ou d'Haïti, ça se jouerait au plus et moins et vous êtes quand même en avance de ce côté-là. Est-ce que vous commencez déjà à penser à peut-être aux États-Unis ou au Mexique où vous n'êtes pas encore rendu là dans votre tête et vous allez seulement y penser une fois que le match contre le Honduras aura été joué et que vous saurez clairement qu'est-ce qui se passe?
Ouais, je pense que ça peut être une erreur de penser trop loin. Tout peut arriver. Oui, il y a des scénarios de but, de tout ça, et la pression, toutes ces choses-là, ça peut arriver, il faut éviter ça. Je pense qu'il faut être sur la tâche. La tâche, c'est de jouer bien contre Honduras, d'essayer de battre Honduras. Ça, c'est la tâche. C'est ça que je veux que les joueurs ils se focalisent sur. À la fin, comme j'ai dit avant, on peut pas contrôler certains scénarios. C'est sûr que ce soir, c'est 2 équipes qui vont jouer, 2 équipes qui sont déjà dans le deuxième tour, en semi-finale, 2 équipes qui peut-être vont pas jouer leurs joueurs, ils vont les déposer. Et alors, on sait pratiquement comment ça peut se finir dans ce cas-là. Et il va y avoir 2 bonnes équipes qui vont être dans la semi-finale de l'autre côté. Alors, nous, on n'est pas encore là. Et pour moi, mon travail, mon staff, on doit se préparer pour arriver là. Et puis, dès qu'on arrive, on se prépare pour la prochaine étape.
Merci beaucoup. Hailey, s'il vous plaît.
Merci beaucoup. Bonjour Mauro. Juste une petite revue d'effectifs, si possible. Callum Montgomery, comment il se sent, mais aussi, j'aimerais savoir aussi la logique derrière avoir Godinho en tant que latéral gauche au lieu de Zoran Basson, qui a fait quand même une bonne entrée contre Haïti. Est-ce que c'est quelque chose qu'on va continuer à voir avec Godinho à gauche ou est-ce que Basson aura sa chance lui aussi?
Ouais, je pense que dans le premier match, à cause de protocole, on n'avait pas cette disponibilité de Bassong. Et puis, avec Godinho à gauche, on a fait deux scénarios de zéro, de pas accorder de but. Alors, quand tu es entraîneur, quand tu t'accordes pas des buts, c'est quelque chose d'important. Et ça donne confiance aussi à l'équipe en arrière. Oui, Bassong a amené beaucoup, il peut amener beaucoup. C'est quelqu'un qui peut nous donner d'aide aussi au milieu de terrain. Durant le camp, il a joué là aussi et il a bien fait aussi. Alors, on va voir comment on va l'utiliser. Il y a aussi un petit coup qu'il a reçu et voir comment il est physiquement. Au niveau de Montgomery, il a cette petite blessure qu'on essaie de voir dans les prochains jours s'il peut nous donner quelque chose. Mais pour l'instant, c'est un risque où il est avec cette blessure. Alors, on n'a pas beaucoup de choix à cause de ça en défense. Alors, comment je gère mes partants? J'ai besoin des joueurs qui aussi ont cette capacité de jouer dans différentes positions parce que j'ai pas certaines solutions. Un joueur comme Bassong, il a cette polyvalence de jouer même comme défenseur central, même comme milieu de terrain ou soit sur la gauche. Alors, c'est une carte aussi importante pour moi et comment je vais l'utiliser.
Merci beaucoup. Paul?
Thank you, Richard. Hi, Mauro. Good luck for tomorrow night, by the way. So, look, not wanting to get too far ahead of ourselves, but should you reach the semi-final, do you have a preference who you'd like to meet in the semi-final? For instance, do you prefer to avoid the hosts?
Well, I think, look, like I said earlier, there's two very good teams, two teams that have a lot of depth, two teams that, you look at the USA team was 0-0 at halftime. Their subs came in and changed the game. So you see that level of depth that they had. We all saw the Mexicans, how they beat Costa Rica, their ability to play in their home country here. So for me, look, we really haven't focused in on that. What we do know is that either or, it'll be very difficult. That game for sure. There's a little bit more familiarity with the Americans in terms of all the players that play in the MLS. But for me right now, I'm really focusing in on getting there. I know everybody wants to look at what's that next game, but the job is not done yet. So we need to make sure that we take care of business against Honduras. And then, the strategy will be out with whoever we have to face of one of those two teams, which will be a difficult game either way.
Thank you very much. Derek Van Dies.
Hi, Mauro. I just wanted to ask you, I know you've been with the team a short time, but is there someone that's kind of stood out for you on your team that maybe you're getting more than you thought you might coming into this event?
Yeah, I think so. I think, when I look at the two midfielders, Patrick and Baldissimo, been solid. Both games in every moment, AO, DO, and the ATs, DTs. So really happy with how they've progressed and contributed so far. I think, obviously James has been solid. I knew James from Montreal. But look, some guys have been put into some situations and have responded well, whether it was Godinho out left, whether it's Davy Norman coming in, having to play center back, with the injury to Giguère and Montgomery. And stepping in, that's not easy for a player. So look, there's been some positives, no doubt. Lucas Diaz coming off the bench, adding a spark the other day, giving something, showing his qualities. And obviously Tejan playing well, and for us. So look, there's a lot of positives. When we review the Haiti game and how we controlled the first half and really trying to draw them out to get behind them, get through them. And I think, there was just the little details of not finishing some actions. But, again, those are normal things when players haven't played and haven't seen situations over 6 or 4 months. But overall, I'm quite happy. And now it's about confirming these last 2 games against Honduras and really, doing everything we can for this country to get to the next round.
Thank you very much. Neil Davidson, followed by Jake. Neil?
Thank you, Richard. Mauro, you addressed this in French, so forgive me for asking you again, but can you give us an update on the status of Callum Montgomery? And also, could you give us your take on your captain, Derek Cornelius, who seems to have been a big presence at the back despite playing with a yellow card?
Yeah, I mean, with Callum Montgomery right now, he has an injury that we're trying to help him recover from and see if he can be available in this tournament. Today he'll have another test run at training to see if he can go. Obviously, we need to make sure, because we don't want to have a player go on and then sub out after 10 minutes. So the medical staff is working extremely hard on his situation. It's unfortunate for him. We thought he had done well in the camp. And then we went down with Giguère. We do not have much flexibility there. And you mentioned Derek Cornelius and the yellow card. So these are all factors. I know it's, as fans and everybody's watching the game, but these are all things that as coaches, we gotta, sort through. And for sure, we need Derek on the field for this game, no doubt. But it's there that, that second yellow card could have him out for if we do pass to the next round. So, that plays part of our subs plan of how we manage this game against Honduras. It's what I said earlier, depending on where we were at in the game. But for sure, we need to know and understand all these scenarios and have the solutions so that we can make those decisions when needed.
And we'll just have to take one last question before Patrick Metcalf comes in. So Jake, go ahead, please.
Hey, Mauro, you may have addressed this in French. Apologies if so, my French isn't great. The scenario if Haiti and El Salvador draw before you guys, and then you're through to the semifinals, if that happens, would that change your approach at all to this match?
Absolutely. There is some factors there that we have to consider. For sure, it's always to win, but I need to be able to manage that, right? And in the best way possible, where, my subs plan has to be where we know we're in, we don't want to enter that next round on empty versus the two top teams, one of the two top teams. And I think that's where we have to be good at in now managing the game once we know that clarity of the first of that game before us. Is, could there be subs at half? Could there, what is our game going to look like? Where are we at? Do we push this game to try to finish top of the group? Or is it best to have freshness? So look, these are what we're going through as a staff. It's not easy because again, there's so many factors, whether it's players' fitness, different players have knocks, the yellow cards, opponents. So look, we're working on that, and then for me to tell you something that's black and white, I can't. It's not right now, but we are looking at different scenarios and what is the best solution for us at that point, and hopefully we'll come out of this game against Honduras in the right way and have the best players available and freshness for that semifinal.
Thank you, everyone, from Concacaf Men's Olympic Qualifying Press Conference. That concludes the portion with Mauro Biello. We'll be back with midfielder Patrick Metcalf. Thank you, everyone, for your patience. We're back with the Concacaf Men's Olympic Qualifying Press Conference, Canada midfielder Patrick Metcalf. So just as always, raise your hands electronically, and then we'll take turns with questions. All right, we'll start with Derek Van Diest at.
Hey, Patrick, thanks for taking the time out to talk to us. I just wanted to ask you about the conditions out there, trying to run around for 90 minutes. It looks like it's hot. It looks like the grass is a little heavy. How has it been for you guys, especially considering some of you guys haven't played in a long time?
Yeah, I'd be lying if I said it was easy to play in these conditions. We have the heat and the altitude coming into play. It's about over 30-degree weather, around 7,000 feet altitude. So it definitely is hard to catch our breath, but I think over the past week and a half, 2 weeks of training and playing these 2 games, we're getting more acclimatized to it. So I think we're on the right path going into Honduras tomorrow.
Thank you very much. Neil Davidson.
Thank you, Richard. And Patrick, thank you for taking the time to speak to us today. You're no stranger to Derek Cornelius. Can you give us a sense of what he's like, his presence on the field as captain, and also what kind of role he's been playing off the field as the pressure builds in this tournament?
He's the captain of our team for a reason. He's been to many men's national team camps. He's played in very big games for this country. He's experienced a lot playing for Canada, and he's kind of sharing those experiences with all of us. There's some new guys here, some guys that have capped for the men's team, some guys that are in their first U23 camp here. So his experience, playing at the Canada level and his experience playing the MLS and sharing that with us is huge going into these games. And he knows what this competition is like in CONCACAF, how these games can always be, go one way, then go the other. So his experience, sharing it with us is vital to succeed in this tournament.
Thank you very much. Michael McCall.
Hey, Patrick, good to see you again. I just wanted to talk a little bit about your journey to this stage in your career. The last couple of years has obviously been a very interesting journey for you. You made your MLS debut last year with the Caps here. Can you just talk a little bit about how this last sort of year and a bit has been for you on a personal level, going from your pro debut to representing your country on the international stage?
Yeah, it's all been hard work and perseverance, I would say. Signing my first professional contract with the Whitecaps last year in January, coming into at a good preseason that year, and then obviously the pandemic hit, and that put a dent in a lot of people's development and careers for the year. So I just had to stay fit through that. And we obviously had that tournament in Orlando, and then we had to move away to Portland last year. So it was hard for not just for myself, but for everyone mentally, being away from home, living in a city where obviously it's not our own, and playing in a city where it's not Vancouver. So there's a lot of challenges, but having that mindset of being a professional is so you need to be successful. So yeah.
Thank you very much. Gavino, s'il vous plaît.
Thank you, Richard. Patrick, the team didn't score last game. What do you need to do best to create more chance against Honduras? Did you talk about it with the trainers, and not the trainers, but with the coaches? And what do you need to do better to force to have more goals in the next game? Thank you.
Yeah, first I think I need to highlight our defensive structure for over the first 2 games. We have 2 clean sheets, we have strong defensive performances. So that's our building block and our foundation going into Honduras. And obviously what was lacking last game was that final act, that final pass, kind of that killer instinct in the box. Yeah, it's something we went over yesterday in video. Something we're going to go over today in training. How do we create those chances? How do we finish those chances? So it's definitely something we're going to look at in training today, and more video leading up to the game against Honduras tomorrow.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you. Haiti, Monsieur Rattel.
Thank you, Richard. Hey, Patrick. I just want to talk about your partnership with Baldissimo in the midfield. How easy was it, because he's your teammate, to really get better and better, because you've been awesome in this tournament right now. So tell us a bit about, the partnership with Baldissimo.
We're very good friends, on and off the field. We've been growing up together in the Whitecaps Academy since probably 5 years ago, growing up playing with each other in every single team. So I know all of his tendencies. I know he knows all of mine. I pretty much know exactly what he's going to do with the ball. I know his passing range, his vision. So I think working off each other is really good. And what we've been most happy with is our defensive effort in these 2 games, keeping that clean sheet. And it's our job as the two center mids to keeping the whole team very tight. So I think that's what we did in these 2 games. But I think what we want to add a bit more is some more attacking flair.
Thank you very much. Neil Davidson, Canadian Press.
Yes, Patrick, you've played some physical teams already at the tournament, and Mauro said you're going to get another one tomorrow. But these CONCACAF teams, they're physical, but yet there's a fair degree of play acting. You touch them and they go down pretty easily. Has playing these teams, being CONCACAF teams, been what you expected? Has anything surprised you?
Yeah, it's what we expected. The culture of football is different down here. Obviously, there's points in the game where, there's some diving going around, a bit of embellishment, but the biggest thing is we can't control that. So we have to control our emotions. We can't get carried away with it, getting caught up in all of that and getting yellow cards. And honestly, it just hurts the team. But I think we've done very well in controlling that. So yeah, we just have to don't do anything stupid against Honduras tomorrow. So we have all of our men hopefully going into the semifinal.
Thank you very much, everyone, from CONCACAF Men's Olympic Qualifying. That will conclude today's Matchday -1 press conference. Thank you kindly.